Hello, 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 everyone. What is going on? James here, and today I bring to you my UFC 262 predictions. All right, let's get into this then. So, first fight I'll be predicting will be Shane Burgos versus Edson Barboza. Shane Burgos likes to come forward quite a lot, always be in the pocket, always land the hooks. He has a really good cracking right hand. But the thing is, he does get cracked. Okay, well, quite a bit. Josh Emmett dropped him twice. He was doing. It seemed from what I remember from the Calvin Cater fight, he was doing really well, but then Calvin just managed to knock him out, and there you go. It was quite competitive though, but still. And against Josh Emmett, he was doing well, but he just got dropped twice. So there you go. Edson does not really like people fighting in the pocket against him. He usually likes to keep it at the distance. He has done decent at featherweight, though. He had a really close fight with Danny Ige. He dropped Ige twice in that fight. And he beat Makwan Amir Khani as well. So those are decent wins. So what I think happens in this fight, I think Shane Burgos just keeps coming forward and probably gets a very late third round TKO. He just keeps coming forward. Edson can't handle the pressure and the volume, the power, the strength. He just can't handle it. Also, Shane Burgos has got better grappling too. And I feel like Shane Burgos gets a late third round TKO, in my opinion. Next fight is Edmund Shabazian versus Jack Hermansson. So, with this fight, I feel like the way Hermansson wins is if people engage with him and they just can't deal with his guillotines or his submission threats. Like David Branch, he got guillotined because he tried to take him down. Calvin Gastelum engaged with him twice and then got heel hooked. So I don't think Edmund is going to go for the takedown or go for anything daft. I think Edmund will probably be able to clip him and knock him out like he did to Tavares. Because let's be real, though. Actually, no, probably not clip him. Probably not clip him. I think Edmund wins the first two, but then gets a bit gassed in the third, and Hermansson takes him down and lands a bit of damage on him. But he hasn't got good enough ground and pound to be able to finish the fight like Brunson did. Shabazian's takedown defense isn't the best, but you'd imagine he'd improve it. So, yeah, I think Edmund Shabazian gets a unanimous decision win, in my opinion. So, next fight is Caitlin Chikagian versus Vivian Ajaro. I think that's how you say it. She's done very well. I mean, she's only lost to Jessica Eye and beat everyone else that they put in front of her in the UFC. Good grappling. I think she's got this fight in the bag, to be honest. I think Chikagian, she wins some and loses some. She, lost to Shevchenko, but beat Shevchenko's sister. Then lost to Andrade, but she's beat Cynthia Cavallo. Obviously, in the past, she's beat Joanne Calderwood and Jennifer Meyer. So like she's good, but I feel like she just ain't as hungry anymore. She had the chance to get the title, lost. Had the chance to get the title again with the number one, like not get the title, not actually be champion, but like a number one contender fight against Jessica Andrade and got beat then. And I know she beat Cynthia Cavallo, but at the end of the day, I feel like Vivian is just, she's probably going to be able to, I think she'll get a second round. No, not a submission, probably a unanimous decision, but absolutely dominate the fight, in my opinion. I'm really confident she'll win. Next fight I'm predicting is Beneil Dariush versus Tony Ferguson. Ferguson, as we all know, is sort of like a former shell of himself. I mean, against Charles Oliveira, he got backed up and pressured and taken down easily. He didn't really have much offense off the bottom. But he was still really tough. I mean, when he was in the armbar, that was just crazy at the end of round one. But Charles just absolutely dominated him and controlled him against Justin Gaethje. Gaethje just kept throwing counter hooks at him, loads. I remember he threw a couple of stiff jabs here and there and got him with the low calf kicks. Beneil Dariush, I think he beats him in the grappling and in the striking. I just think he's able to back up Tony Ferguson really easily. I can't see him getting a TKO or a KO or even a submission because I don't think he's got that much of a grappling advantage to be able to finish him on the ground. But I do think he controls him position-wise, and I do think he beats him in the striking too. Prime Tony is a different story. He had the prime Tony had mad pressure. I think Gaethje fought a fairly prime Tony. Tony just sort of went in with the wrong game plan and couldn't deal with his counter hooks. And I know he'd taken damage in previous fights and all that, but he just couldn't deal with the counter hooks. And obviously against Charles Oliveira, he was still good and he was still a threat, but nowhere near as good as when he fought Gaethje, in my opinion. I know he still lost that fight, but he still seemed like he was the same old Tony because his toughness was just next level, and he seemed like he was trying. He just had the wrong game plan. But yeah, against Charles, he wasn't quite a former shell of himself, but not as good as he was previously. And obviously, this one, I think we're just going to get a Tony that's a former shell of himself and just probably get dominated by Beneil Dariush. It's a good style matchup for him, but I just think Beneil whoops him, to be honest. So, but by unanimous decision, because you do need, if you are a really good finisher, you do need 5 rounds to finish him still. But yeah, who knows though? Who knows what will happen? Fair play to Tony for stepping up for UFC 249 and pretty much sort of saving sports in a way, really, because we hadn't had many sporting events at the time. So fair play to him. He really is a true hero for standing up and doing that. But still, I think he's going to lose this one, to be honest, as I say. Anyway, on to the main event. Michael Chandler versus Charles Oliveira. This is an insanely interesting fight, mainly because Chandler, even though he mostly just threw hooks against Hooker, he pretty much just knocked him out in the first, and not many people are able to do that to Hooker, even though I know Edson finished Hooker, but it took a lot of body kicks. Hooker's insanely tough. I know he doesn't really roll with the punches, and he seemed a bit overly respectful of Chandler's power and striking. But at the same time, Chandler put that amazing pressure on him and really, really backed him up. And Hooker didn't really land much on him apart from, I think he landed a few front kicks and a couple of decent leg kicks here and there. But at the end of the day, Michael Chandler just, floored him with the hook. But maybe he was a bit worried about the takedown, and Charles isn't going to be worried about the takedown because, he's got a great front headlock, he's got great guillotines, he's got a great D'Arce choke. He's just insanely good and he's just generally really good on the ground. So he's not going to go for the takedown. And who wins in the striking? Well, Charles does tend to get hit a bit, and sometimes he throws the jumping switch kick, and maybe Chandler could just rush him when he throws the jumping switch kick and just land a big hook, and then, or even on the ground, maybe he could control him with good positions and ground and pound him, because Paul Felder was able to just elbow the crap out of him on the ground. So who knows what's going to happen at the end of the day? It's a really interesting, close fight, in my opinion. But I'm going to have to go with Charles because he's just got more skill, in my opinion. I just think he'll be able to do it. I know Chandler could ground and pound him, but I just think Charles has got this in the bag. If Chandler is going to win, it'll be a first round TKO or second round KO or TKO. Charles doesn't, as I say, he does tend to get hit sometimes and he doesn't roll with punches, so he's at risk a bit of getting knocked out, but that's why this fight is so interesting. No one has any clue who's going to win, but I'm going to go for the guy with more skill, who's more well-rounded, who throws all sorts of strikes in Charles Oliveira. He's just got an amazing, diverse striking game and an amazing grappling game too. So yeah, those are all my predictions for UFC 262. Oh wait, let's give the prelim predictions quickly. All right then, so these are my prelim predictions. I don't know much about people on the prelims, but yeah, I think Jacare Souza wins his fight. Rodrigo Bontorin, I'm going for him. Andrea Lee, I think she wins hers. Lando Vannata versus Mike Grundy. Very interesting thing is when Mike Grundy takes you down, he just sort of, well, from what I saw in his last fight, he sort of just held on to the guy whenever he got the takedown and didn't really do much. He just really seemed desperate to control the position. I do want him to win, obviously, but I think Lando Vannata beats him. I think Jordan Wright wins his fight. Oh, I didn't say by what. Jacare Souza by submission. Rodrigo Bontorin decision. Andrea Lee decision. Lando Vannata probably third round TKO. Jordan Wright second round TKO. And I don't know anything about the other two people. I don't know. Let's go for Gina Mazzani and by decision, and Tucker Lutz by third round TKO. I don't know anything about them. Those are pretty much just guesses. But yeah, that's it then. So thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and have a good one. See ya.